If you're using a bench grinder, I can see that you're actually trying to be cautious and careful because the knife isn't really cut away that bad. Okay, so let's say we close this one, and on that one, you can gently, I'm going to come down here, okay? You can actually set it down and gently run it. Now see how that grabs? Yeah, and then also, this is thinner, that's thicker. Where it's thicker, it'll grab the sharpener better. Okay, now watch how it changes, and very fast, in no time at all. See how that's not grabbing anymore? It only took about 6 passes through there to change that knife and thin it enough that now it fits the beam. This is very, very serious, hard, sharp corners. Okay, so then we just do this. Don't press too hard on it. Let it work. Don't make it work. Run it through there. That's okay. Or you can use the open face corners and just run along like this. See, I don't even notice that inside radius is there. Just like that, because I don't have to deal with it. And I go right on around like that, come back this way, out that way. I go out and back, flip it from corner to corner this way, that way, like that. I can set it down and work on just the radius and the point like this, like that. Then at the end, I'll flip the knife every pass, polish the blade, get rid of the wire edge. It is important to get rid of the wire edge because it'll fold over and make your knife prematurely dull. All right, then people, they complain about the steel in the blade and the sharpener and everything else, but it never dawns on them that it was them that didn't take the wire edge off the blade. All right, and so we end up with a knife now. I can make them sharp. I can make it a little sharper than that. Yeah, but if you would consider that a work knife, I'm sure I can tell by the scratches in the blade. Okay, so a work knife should never be as sharp as like a fisherman's knife. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. When I show you this, you can actually see the cutting edge because it's all beat up, it's flat, it's got nicks in it and things like that. So I am going to run it through the V, and we're just going to put a little bit of pressure on it this time because I need to cut the metal a little. And if I had the black cloth like I have at my tablecloth, you'd see some little pigtail shavings of metal off there. But if you don't take metal off the blade, I don't care what you use, whether it's stone, steel, Lansky, crock stick, diamond impregnated tools, ceramics, I don't care what you use. If you don't take a little metal off that blade, let's say your blade is 2/1000ths of an inch thick. If you don't take at least 1/1000th off this way and 1/1000th off that way on the same bevel, you won't have a sharp knife. So you actually have to remove a pretty good bit of metal, especially if it's been a while, or I don't know, you were working on a tractor or something for a day, and at the end of the day you find out that you have no cutting edge because you're going to go to your pocket knife for just about everything, whether it's belts, hoses, scraping gaskets, cutting gaskets, things like that. All right, and that's probably, I'm going to let you look. See how there's still 3 little flat spots on there? Okay, I don't know if you can find those flat spots. Right in there. Yeah, right in there. Okay. So let's see what we got now for sharp. That one actually came out sharp. Well, I pushed harder on it through the V, so I actually cut more metal off of it. And it is important to cut some metal off because you can't make a knife sharp without cutting some metal off. So if it's like a wood chisel, I'll actually hold that chisel up to my chest like this. It's beveled like that, and I'm looking right at it. And so I'll take one of the longer handled ones, like that, and I go right down that bevel, just like that, or you can tip it up and go down like this, and drag it backwards on a piece of wood, do it again and again and again, cut the burr off. You can actually get away with probably at least a dozen tune-ups on a wood chisel before you take it back to a whetstone. Get it at the right angle and really make it sharp and fix the angle.
So would you say going to a block of wood?
Block of wood, pull it backwards so that the burr goes up. No, just on a wood chisel.
Just on a wood chisel.
Yeah. See, I can take, on a pocket knife, I take the little burr, that little wire edge off by flipping the knife every pass.
Okay.
And I've learned to stop just a little bit further up than maybe you should be down here. But when I'm taking the burr off, I touch it super light, and I actually stop with it a little bit aggressive, so I'm cutting on it, and I'm cutting on it. So I will actually stop a little bit at more aggressive angle and cut that burr off the blade. So when you feel my knives, you'll see that no matter how many times I mess with them up here and sharpen them, there has a little tiny, I call them railroad cracks, but there's no wire edge on my blades. And it's sharp. So little tune-ups frequently. Your sharpener should be in your pocket. You ever like propane torches, weed burners, barbecues, oxyacetylene outfit, cutting torches, things like that? Well, wouldn't it be nice to know that no matter what you're doing, where you're at, your fire starter, your ferrocerium rod is actually right there with you, no matter what you're doing. So you can sharpen with it. You know, you can make a knife if you have to. I've told people, I said, I can make a hacksaw blade into a knife in 2 minutes. Yeah, hacksaw blades are hard.
Oh, yeah, very hard.
You know, and they're tough. They're a good deal, actually. If you took and, I don't know, wrapped a rag tight and duct tape and make a handle, you can make a pretty darn good knife out of a hacksaw blade, you know. Any other questions, you know, on sharpening?
Where are you from?